In order for me to eliminate these distractions, I've got to sacrifice. Ebony, you're so busy always wanting to entertain people and make everybody happy, and everybody wants you at everything, but you got to stop that. You have got to absolutely focus. So my name is Eboni Elektra, and I was born in New York, but pretty much raised in Atlanta since elementary school. I've been a staple, I'd say, on the music industry scene since a very young age. Started in middle school with just me throwing parties with attendance of 300 plus people, and it just kept going. And then, went away to New York for college and came back. But once I came back, then that's when I was really heavy on the scene. I was a young female entrepreneur at a young age. I started it was called Eboni Girls. It was the first all-female street promotions team. So back then we didn't have anything outside of email. We had no Instagram, no Facebook, no nothing. So it wasn't about just posting a flyer. You had to really get out there and do the work. So we would give schedules and be like, okay, we're gonna be at so-and-so parking lot at this time, this parking lot, just so we can get the word out. And it was really successful. It was a bunch of beautiful women. Everybody had on the same colors. It was just a movement, a serious movement. And we were doing parties for the likes of Magic Johnson, Shaquille O'Neal, like Jamie Foxx. This is back in the days. I had to be like in my early 20s. From there, I started a company called Girl 6, and we were just really doing events. And we'd just get hired corporately, even just through the industry, whether it was a album release party or whether it was the launch of a brand, what have you. And this, again, was still in the early 90s. I was in my 20s as well. I've done radio. I was on a morning show with Ryan Cameron. I'm sure a lot of you know who he is now. He's been in radio for years. I am absolutely responsible for bringing Bad Boy Weekends to Atlanta. Of course, Puffy had to agree, but myself and Kim Porter actually would put everything together for the entire weekend, and if you missed it, you absolutely missed it. And so we did Bad Boy Weekends for like 3 years in a row until Puff decided he didn't want to do it anymore. Moving forward, myself, Kim Porter, and another one of our girlfriends, Nicole Cook Johnson, who's the late great singer Sam Cooke, that's her granddad. We started a company called Three Brown Girls, and we literally opened our doors just to do one Sunday night at Justin's Restaurant, which was owned by Puffy at the time. And it was just an opportunity for people who were just into the arts. If you loved it, it was a supper club, actually. We draped the entire place out, full-on production. And we created a serious supper club atmosphere. No matter who you were, you had to be in Justin's. Even if you were an entertainer that just got off the plane, anybody in Atlanta would tell you, if you're gonna go out on Sunday, you gotta go to Three Brown Girls event, Lip Service, which is at Puffy's restaurant. We've had the likes of George Clinton, T.I., Janelle Monáe, as everyone knows now, got founded there. She was coming in. And it was an opportunity for people who didn't have record deals to just come up on the stage and sing. And as soon as we see like a celebrity entertainer come in the door, then the house band would just automatically start playing their music. And that, of course, that'll make them want to get up and come on stage as well too. So it was the place to be. Well, that took off for us, and people started, hiring us just to plan and do their events. And one of our biggest, which we loved, was going to the Congressional Black Caucus, and they hired us to do entertainment for the entire weekend, and it was an amazing experience. And after that, we found ourselves doing everything from Cartier spreads in magazines and photos. It was crazy. Our success took off, but we had to absolutely catch up to it. When I put up a quote recently that said the key to life is being whole, no judgment, no toxic energy, letting go and forgiving, stuff like that. It takes maturity to get to a space like that. I will say that 80% of my DNA since God made me is that. So I naturally live that, but the older you get, you have to let go of some things. I'm a very emotional person, and I react. If someone says something or does something, then I'm definitely a reactor, and I had to learn to get that into subjection, where you can walk around mad at someone and hold a grudge and it's eating you up daily, but that person's going on with their life. They're not thinking about it. They're not thinking anything about it. The mention of their name gets you like, all frazzled. And that's one of the things that I had to absolutely do. Everything that I pretty much do is very open, and I'm an authentic individual, period, point blank. That has gotten me so far, just the whole kindness and the whole everything. So I look at life now like I'm in the second phase of my life, and there are certain things that I'm doing differently. So there were a couple of people out here that I was absolutely holding grudges, and I said, Eboni, stop. Like, I can't be 100% whole and expect for all the blessings that are really on my life as we speak to continue to come by me holding grudges, by me backbiting, by me, just being this emotional person and not forgetting and moving on. So whenever I post anything on my page, it's because I actually live it. I don't grab a post just because it sounds good. I live it. And 9 times out of 10, I'm going to put that, underneath how you write your comments or whatever. I'm going to express that and tell you why I'm saying that or what have you. But I just know I had to let go of something maybe like 20 minutes before I put that post up. And it absolutely changed my life. The next day I went to the water, because that's where I go to get all of my everything. I feel like I'm at one with God when I'm in nature, just period. And I went to the water and really let it go, because my focus is what is most important, and I don't have time for any, like you said, the negative energy. You're in control of what you let in your life, and I'm a huge believer of that. I have to treat my days. I don't have a full day of 8 hours to put into my brand. I would love to, but I have to treat my days like, my first priority is my child. That's first and foremost. But what little time I do have, I will squeeze in my meetings. I will write out proposals. I will crank up and do whatever is absolutely needed. It's not like I have 12 hours to sit in an office space and just do everything. But I don't. Do I see progress on a daily basis? It's amazing. It happens every day, and it's been going on with me for a while now, A support system, a village is extremely important. It's just a conscious effort, and you can't let one outweigh the other, especially when your child is the most important thing. So it happens. I manage. I can't say I manage. God manages, because he knows exactly where he's taking me and knows the amount of time that's needed to get everything done. So a lot of my support, honestly speaking, does come from God. Once you put that out into the atmosphere, then, and you believe in that thing, he's absolutely going to help you. And that's where my help has come from a lot of the times. Sacrifice is the key. So let me say, when it comes to building a brand, sacrifice is absolutely key, because I'll use myself, before I was allowing myself to be pulled in 50 million different directions, because I'm not going to lie, I own every bit of who I am, 100%. I'm not afraid to say what it is. Like with me, I'm very talented, and these are all gifts from God, clearly. So because of me being heavily connected, someone's needing this, or someone wants to pull me in on this project, or why don't we do this together, Eboni, or, blah, 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 blah. And I used to do all of that. There's a calling on my life by all means, and it's walking in God's purpose for my life. I'm there now. So when I put hashtags on my page that say socialite, I don't mean L-I-T-E, I mean L-I-G-H-T. So I know that about myself now, that I am the light, that I am a brand, that my brand is being authentically Eboni Elektra, because that's what people gravitate to. Because I love when I don't have anything on my calendar, because I know that I could put everything into building my brand. I love when I have a weekend with nothing to do, because for me, I'm straight. I'm grabbing a glass of wine and I am getting busy. That's what drives me now. Like it totally drives me now. I didn't get that. I always say I'm in the second phase of my life. It wasn't like that the first phase. First phase, I was living my best life. Making money doing it, but living my best life. Now, like I said, it's more of a purpose walk for me. And at the end of the day, you definitely have to be focused. All that other stuff, like I cut off even the guy I was talking to. I don't want any type of distraction right now, because there's a lot that has to be done, and it's not going to get done unless I do it. God will tell you what your purpose is, and God will bless you, but you still got to do your part, And that's where I am in my life right now. There's nothing more important to me other than God, my son, and career, than everything else, As it pertains to friendship, when I say that talk is cheap and action is everything, that goes for relationships. If you're in a relationship with someone, I tell people all the time, God never has to verbally say out of their mouth, I love you. Because if their actions are showing that, then that's pleasing. And that's like learning one of the 5 love languages, period. That's pleasing enough to know, because an action is everything. But as far as friendship goes, I put that post up because everybody keeps looking at my relationship with Kim as like, oh my God, those are best friend goals, blah, blah, blah. And it blows my mind, because we're just literally just living, just being friends. And I don't, I feel like our relationship is like anybody else's. But Kim and I have had fallouts. We've gone where we didn't speak for a year and a half, okay? And I've had fallouts in my life before with friends where I had no desire to even come back into their life or them come back into my life. Well, with every single time, it's only happened twice with us. Every time we fell out, we'd always make our way back to each other no matter what. And my mom was always like, Eboni, that's love. Her mom was like, that's love. And I said, it's one thing to verbally say that, but our friendship was based on action by all means, which she has absolutely told me several times, love you, love you, love you. But if she never would have opened her mouth, her actions showed it. Love is action. If you really love somebody, then the actions that you do for that person are going to prove just that, just love. I say all the time, people want to use love. Oh, I love him, I love him, I love him, I love him. But as soon as you break up, every picture comes down off your Instagram and then you're on to your next relationship. You can't do that. You love your daughter. You love your mom. There's certain people that you love, and that love is going to go with you no matter what. I don't care, 20, 30, 40 years down the line, you're going to still love that person. That's love, And just don't get the two confused. That's really pretty much what I'm saying. Everybody always talks about how I exude this certain confidence, this confidence. Well, you have to ask my mom. She'll be the first to tell you that I've been this way since a child. It meant nothing to me as I was growing up. It's just that I was a chatterbox. I talked a lot, but I also realized the older I got that I was a leader, that I'm extremely confident. I don't have a shy bone in my body. I never meet a stranger. And no matter what it is that I'm going through, what you're gonna see is that confident side as opposed to a defeated side or anything like that. A conscious effort and a conscious decision will change a lot. It's up to you. It's what you believe. But I've been this way. And it's a part of the socialite brand that attracts everybody. For me, what I've always had to do, I would always get gigs where God's gift, we're making room. And I was making plenty of money from doing the radio. Then once I stopped doing radio, I was doing a whole lot of stuff on television. And I was noticing that all those types of jobs that I would get where it was using my talents, I would end up getting fired. And I would only get fired because, and I'm just being honest, it'd be a female boss and jealousy or something would set in, because I told you I own every bit of who I am. And yes, I am talented and I'm very good at what it is that I do. Anything that's media related. So a lot of times I would get a female boss and they would get jealous. Or anything would happen and it would cause me to lose it. And that's what made me just turn to becoming an entrepreneur. So I had to constantly talk to myself and feed myself positive affirmations daily, because I absolutely knew that I was not made for a 9 to 5. I knew that there was purpose on my life. I know that my talents will definitely take me places that I can't even imagine. And because I knew that, and I'm not gonna lie, I'm gonna keep this real too. I kept having all these different visions, whether I was praying, whether I'm in a conversation. It's like a visions just pop in my mind, and I would just see myself on this stage. I wasn't a preacher, I wasn't a singer. I could never understand what it was that I was doing. It'd be talking to the multitudes. And one thing I know is that God is not a man that he should lie. So every time I would have these visions, or he would speak to me about certain things, that would boost my confidence. What advice would I give to other entrepreneurs? Listen, everybody comes up with an idea, and it's a grand idea to you. I'm going to say this right here. You're no different from anybody else. Don't let anything discourage you by looking at the next person. Now I have to say Instagram because it's so huge. Don't look at what your girlfriend is doing on Instagram and where she's at. Don't look at Beyonce or Sierra or whomever. If you're an aspiring rapper and this, that, the other, if you're an aspiring business owner, yes, some people have a little more connections, but last time I checked, there are millions of people who don't have connections and who open their own business or follow their dream to be a singer or what have you, and they're successful right now. My thing is, crowd out the negativity. If it's something that you truly believe in, whatever it is, then that's between you and that's between God. But again, your actions are going to show that. Don't be a talker about what you're going to do. Go through and do it. I didn't do that. I have so many journals with all these different ideas that I wanted to do when I was younger. But I was so busy traveling the world and going to this party and doing that and being here and being there. And a lot of that stuff didn't happen. But now I go back, there's still such great ideas. I'm able to implement them into my brand right now. But it takes sacrifice by all means. Like I said, I had to stop accepting every invitation. I had to stop accepting come with me out of the country. I had to stop doing this. So Eboni, can you throw me a birthday party? I had to stop doing all of that because what I was working on and what I am working on requires all of my attention. And I started reading, like I said, I'm really into self-help, and I'll go on YouTube and listen to people talk, the ones who have made it. And Sam Walton, you know, everybody knows him. He owns Sam's, he owns Walmart. The same thing that I'm saying to you is the same thing he did. Like I said, right now my best friend is my laptop. I'm serious about that thing. It's one thing for you to say what you're serious about and you're just talking. But now I'm in an action stage. I'm so focused, it's ridiculous. I'm having to sacrifice, and whatever it takes for me to sacrifice to get to that next level, then I'm willing to do that. And if this is something that you don't possess, a lot of people don't possess discipline when it comes to working out or dieting. If this is something that you want, you better go to your God and make that thing known on a daily basis, that this is what you want for yourself, you know? And I'm just thankful that I have no distraction in my life. Those are the things that you have to speak on. You know, not God, please move all the distractions. No, that's the wrong way to pray. God, I'm so thankful that there are no distractions in my life as I'm moving forward with my vision, you know, what have you. And just speak that thing to yourself and act on it. And trust me when I tell you, whatever it is that you're doing as an entrepreneur will absolutely come to fruition by all means. I am Eboni Elektra. I'm young and I'm great.